Hello and welcome to another how-to video from the Infor how-to video series. And in this video, Roy will show us how to set up and use Mongoose to track alerts from our IoT device.
This short recording will walk through the use of the Mongoose sensor alert on the M3 EAM IoT integrated environment. First thing to check is the dashboard and the graph coming up correctly, and does the sensor tag show connected? On the London garage you'll only have one sensor, this one. If it doesn't come up, what I've found is that if you go into the shared adapter, unshare, save it and share again, it will very often bring it to life. Can't explain why it does, sometimes just comes up and sometimes it doesn't. But let's leave that there. Now going into login as London Garage, signing in. At this point, Mongoose doesn't support single sign-on through a widget. So the first thing we need to do is to go to Mongoose and simply authenticate for the default application. Having done that, we can go back to the home page and switch to the home page that we're going to use, which is my Multitenancy page. There is a problem with this because we're running HTTP. You will need to load unsaved scripts. And that will bring this Infor IOT chart, which is running local, up. I've put already the sensor in a very bright light. I've put it underneath my desk lamp. The sensor, what we used to do was wait until this went to 0 and then use this EAM widget to create a work request. With the new way of working, we have this IoT Lux sensor widget, which in fact is powered by Mongoose. We pick the sensor, these are defined in a background table, and we inherit the accounting entity, the object code, and the organization. The object code is the target asset for an EAM work request. What we also do is define the Lux change that we're trying to capture. And I'm putting in 1,000. I could have perhaps put in 30,000, but I'm going for 1,000. And we click start. This widget will query the data lake via data lake query platform every 40 seconds. The sensor is sending the readings to data lake once a minute. This means that there is a requirement to wait a little bit. The first thing I'm going to do is put the sensor into the dark. And now, okay, it's reading 33. That's probably because of what it sent at the moment that I put it in, but clearly there's more than 1,000 difference. What we can then do is, while we're waiting, and there is a wait, via the banner widget, go to devices in IoT. Because this is the first time, then it is authenticating before it's taking it to the right place. And picking the device name, changing the configuration slightly. The default configuration is just for accelerometer. We want Lux. And we can see the readings that have been going to and from the monitor. Under here, we can refresh. And what we're waiting for, and we need to wait, is for this next 0 reading to occur. When it does occur, we will receive a new task. And I'm going to go on pause. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and now we can see that we have received into Data Lake a 0 reading. We don't have to wait here, but I find it's the best way to work. If we go back to the widget, every 40 seconds, when it's running the query, it's returning a message that you just saw disappearing from the screen there. Again, I'm going to wait on pause until the next message appears. Okay, a new message came through. I don't think I caught it in the screen, but the other thing that's come through is the Mongoose widget has found an instance of where the lux has changed to be 1,000 less. And it pops up this message at this point. What it's also done at this point is it stopped the monitor. Again, there is a little bit of a pause until the man here shows a red dot. This is simply because Iron is pushing the tasks every 1 or 2 minutes. What I found is that I actually receive the alert on my phone before I receive it via Infor OS. We see now that we've got a new task come through, and we can go to that task, and this is the task that has been triggered via Iron from the Mongoose monitor. We take ownership of the task, and we tell it that we want to create either a works order or a work request. I will, I think, be removing some of these other options. I'm going to create a work request and mark it as done. We could, of course, have used the task list and the workflow viewer to achieve the same thing. There's now a follow-up task, which is in fact a notification, which is telling us that it's been approved with the action create work request. The next step would be to assign the works order to a technician. Unfortunately, at this moment, that piece isn't quite coming through as yet. What we can do is we can go to EAM, into works orders. We need to change it to show all works orders. And if we go right to the bottom, this is the work request that has just been created. Moving forward, this will of course result in another task to assign an engineer.